greatness in you. Pain is necessary. Change is inevitable. Success is who you are, not what you obtain.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Mariner, aka the Shift Motivator. We back on the scene, man, and I just wanted to take a few minutes just to come out and encourage you guys. For y'all that don't know, we out here in Central Florida and decided to come out to one of the beaches to do something a little bit different, to shoot you guys a little live shot to kind of bring the point home on what I want to talk to you guys about today. And what I want to talk to you guys about today is I want you to stick to your assignment. But in order for you to stick to your assignment, you have to know what your assignment is. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, is knowing your assignment. And I want to start out by the story, which is why we're sitting here at the beach right now. There's the story of a young gentleman. He's out there on the beach with his son, right? And he's walking along this beach, along the sandy shore, along the ocean, got it, enjoying the beautiful view. And then as they begin to walk closer and closer to the shore, they notice these objects sitting on the seashore. And so as they begin to move closer and closer, they noticed there was a bunch of starfish that was out of the water that actually had washed up on the sea. And so what began to happen as they began to walk, it was miles and miles and miles of starfish along the seashore, right? And so what began to happen was the little boy, he began to bend down and begin to pick up the starfish one by one and begin to just throw them in the water, right? And so it got to a point as they began to walk, the father said, "Hey son, why are you constantly bending down and picking up the starfish? Because you can't help all of them." And so the young man, he stopped and he looked at his father and he said, "You know what, Dad? You're right. I can't help all of them." And after he said that, he began to bend down and pick another one up and he threw it in the water. And as he began to throw it in the water, he looked up at his dad and he said, "You know what, Dad? I helped that one." And then he bent down again and he picked that one up and he threw it in the water and he said, "You know what, Dad? I helped that one." So what am I saying? You're not in business to help everybody. Everybody's not gonna like what you have to offer, but guess what? The ones that are assigned to you, them the ones you gotta know who you are assigned to, because you can't help everybody. So be glad of where you are right now. Be glad of where you started at right now. Do what you can with what you have right now to get where you're trying to go. I got one more story that I want to share with you out of the good book, right? And there's a prophet in the good book by the name of Elisha. And there's another prophet in the good book by the name of Elijah, where Elijah was in a space where he knew he had to pass on what he had to somebody. But God began to speak to Elijah and let him know that there he had somebody in the steed waiting to carry the mantle that he had. So guess what? When Elisha was in position, get this now, he was in position doing what he do. He was out in the field with the oxen plowing the land. And guess what? Elijah began to walk by, and as Elijah walked by, he felt something that this was somebody that I needed to be connected to. And as he figured that out and he realized that his assignment to go to the next level was tied up in Elijah, he began to recognize that. He began to make preparation. Listen, guys, you got to prepare for where you're trying to go. So what he did, he left his position and he went and told his parents that, "Hey, I got to leave you guys because my next level is walking away from me and I got to attach myself to that." And guess what, guys? He didn't stop there. But the oxen that he was plowing with, the equipment that he had, he killed the oxen, fed it to the people, and he destroyed all his equipment. What is that symbolizing? You have to kill where you are right now, because you can't be comfortable where you are, that where you're trying to go, if it doesn't look the way you want it to look, that you have something to go back to. So you got to kill everything that you're tied to right now so you can run towards your promise. And then what began to happen is, as they begin to go along the journey, people begin to come out of the woodworks. The chatter begin to stop. Guess what, God? Let them talk. Let the chatter happen. They may be telling you you're not a D1 prospect right now, but guess what? You know on the inside of you that you're a D1 prospect. Guess what? You got to keep moving. They may be telling you that your story isn't going to be heard by nobody, but guess what? You got to keep writing that story, because it's your story and it's going to touch somebody. It may not be ready to touch the person that is giving you the negative feedback, but it's going to touch somebody. And guess what? As Elisha was on the journey with Elijah, They came out of the woodworks and the chatter began to go, and they began to let him know, guess what? You know what? The guy that you're following, he's not going to be with you always. So why are you following him? And guess what Elisha said to them? He said, shut up. I know that. You know it's going to be hard. You know it's not going to be easy. You already know that. So guess what? You got to shut down the chatter. You got to shut down the chatter. You got to shut down all the noise, and you got to begin to walk towards your promise. You got to begin to walk towards your future. What am I saying? You got to know your assignment, because they're going to be potholes along the road. They're going to be animals along the road. They're going to be tigers and bears and lions. Oh my, yes it is. But guess what? You prepared for this moment, just like David. When he prepared for the moment against Goliath, yeah, he didn't just fight Goliath out of his own strength. He was prepared. God had him prepared. Why? Because he killed the lion and he killed the bear before he killed the giant. So guess what? This is preparation time for you to get everything in order, to get everything right, to get your mind right, to get your stuff right, to get your space right, to get everything right, to be wherever it needs to be to get where you're trying to go. But guess what? You got to know your assignment. So when the chatter begin to come, you got to say, yep, I already realized that was going to happen. Yep, I know that was coming. Yep, I know I was going to face that. But guess what? I'm still going to go on the journey, because what? That promised land, that place over there, that person that I'm supposed to be connected to, I got to go to that. I got to face what I got to face to get to that. Because why? My next level is in that person. My next level is in that place where I'm refusing to go, or where I'm scared to go. But my next level is calling me. So guess what, guys? I'm telling you, this is what you got to do. You got to lay everything down. You got to kill it. And you got to follow the voice to where it's leading you to. I can't tell you what the voice is. You have to know that voice. And I'm going to leave you with this, guys. This is how you understand that it's time for you to make the shift. For you guys that know how to drive a stick shift, that you know that you have to change the gear by hearing the sound. The sound has to reach a certain RPM level. That lets you know that you have to change gears. Your heart is your RPM level. Your heart is telling you that you need to change gear, but you're scared. Your heart is telling you that you need to change gear, but you're saying you don't have everything you need. Your heart is telling you that you need to change gears, but you're coming up with excuses on why you can't change gears. Guess what? If you don't shift gears, you're going to burn your engine out. That RPM is going to get so high, and if you don't shift gears, you're going to burn your engine out. What am I saying? You got to bail out before you burn out. If you're at a place where you're tired, if you're in a place where you're frustrated, you got to sit back, you got to set back, and you got to recalculate some things, and you got to get yourself together. And then guess what? You have to make that shift, because if you don't make the shift, you're going to burn your engine out. So guess what? The RPMs are revved up right now. The RPMs are going off the charts right now, so you need to make the shift. This your boy, Mike Mariner, aka the Shift Motivator, saying we back in action, and I'll see you at the top, because the bottom is way too crowded.